Hello, this is my February plan with me. This month I wanted a twist on a Valentine's theme and I decided to go with this kind of illustration. The reference for which I got from lounge underwear. I started with the February header, which I based on the font New Romantics. I wanted the kind of serif font I had last month, but in a little bit of a jumpy style. It's a bit more fun. First, for the illustration, I lightly erase the pencil markings so I could start with marker pen. And I go in with 2 colours of my Tombow brush pens. And I just start filling in a little 4-petal flowers, which are really just X's. I wanted it to feel quite dreamy, so I didn't want to fill in anything on a single colour. I've gone for this mix between the blue and the purple. This probably would have worked better in watercolour, but I only work with marker pens so far. So I'm just filling in all the colour parts of the lingerie, not sticking to any particular reason to which bits are purple and which bits are blue. I really want it to feel like a two-toned kind of thing. And now I've outlined the body with a grey marker. I was going to colour her in, but I thought it would be too much actually, and I think it stands out better with just the blue and purple. Now I am doing a border on the header in the matching grey marker and working on a few flowers I added to the bottom. So I want these flowers to match the illustration, so I'm doing the blue and purple again, not worrying too much about realism, just I really want a sketchy colour put in. Yeah, I want that rough look. I decided the line art was too light and I went over with a darker grey. And now I can erase all the pencil. So for my calendar, I like to use the calendar as a kind of colour palette. So as an opportunity to showcase all the colours in my theme for the month. The 4 or 5 colours I've been using, I just spread out among the boxes for the days of the month. And I feel like this acts as a colour palette, but also acts as a calendar. I don't tend to write in my calendar except events maybe, or key dates, birthdays. So it's more for aesthetic reasons. And now I'm just cutting out a little panel on the right hand side. I like to have a little bit of white space or blank space in my covers. I think it's a little more interesting and adds more dimension to the drawings. I like to leave this little border around the outside because when I cut the page like a Dutch door, I didn't like the inconsistency in the pages, but this way it still has the same border no matter what I'm cutting. So I found this pastel purplish paper I had and I wanted to put that in the page behind so that it peeks through the cutout and also decorates the page underneath. So after I've measured out the sizes I want, I cut them on a cutting board with a craft knife. And I'm just making sure it fits before I cut. And on the back of the cover, I'm doing a spread for a line a day, which I'm trying to incorporate this year to help me be mindful about how each day has gone. And I think it's a nice thing to look back on, as I'm not really into journaling at the moment, but I think this is just a line a day is quite a reasonable commitment to get a taste of it. I've split them up into weeks. And now I have my weekly tasks, which are tasks I migrate from my monthly task for February. I decided to go back to the cover and add line work. I was not sure this whole time. I thought I like the softer look, but I think a little bit of pen makes it pop just a bit more. And I also outlined a few of the flowers, not all. And then I decided I wanted to also use this bluish grey pen. Of course you can outline in black, but I really prefer a tone-on-tone look. And I added some white pen to add a bit more dimension to the florals. And now this I should have done before I cut it out, but I wanted to add a little floral mishmash, kind of following in from the first illustration. And I just wanted these little flower petals, like little blossoms, onto the page. Since I already did the cutout, it was a little tricky to draw, but it was fine. And I added some more little florals, this time just in line work for a change. And I went back to the calendar and added some brush marker and the days of the week. Now we're on to my first weekly setup, and I've carried on with this jumpy font, which I quite like. I think it looks more intricate than it is. It's just a matter of changing the heights of the letters, but it looks quite thought out, I think. And I did the same for the days of the day numbers as well, just to match, and I bordered them with a simple little box in a matching brush marker. And now I had some of stickers that match the theme quite nicely, and I thought it was a great opportunity to use them. So I put 2 rows of these floral stickers on the edge of the page to act as the border, and I cut out the little white spaces in between because I want the paper underneath to peep through, and I think it's more interesting and gives more dimension to the page. For my weekly setup, I use a rolling weekly, and I've illustrated the days of the week along the left header and have little check boxes for each task, so that when I do complete them, I get the satisfaction of checking off a box and not just doing an X, which I don't find as satisfying. And now I'm mapping out the paper I want underneath the cutout. So I'm starting on my second weekly setup as well by cutting out the purple paper I want to match and peep through the cutout. Now on the other side of my cutouts, I want to replicate the flower pattern in reverse, I suppose. I'm just using a purple pen to sketch out these little star-shaped kind of flowers. You can see on the side I have a bit of the sticker to look at as a reference. I just sketched out the little where I wanted the flowers to be, and now I'm just going straight into pen. I'm not too worried about how neat or pretty this is. I think when you do little intricate drawings like this, the accuracy of the details don't matter as much, it's the effect of having all the flowers. So I just scribbled in some purple marker to colour them in, give them a bit of life, and I used a grey pen to draw in the leaves and stems between the flowers. Not worrying too much about if it makes sense, but I think it looks pretty. And now I'm filling in week 2 of my setup, again with the jumpy letters for the days of the week and my headers. This time I went for a purple border. Now I decided I wanted something a bit more interesting on the left side of the first page, and I had a little bits of purple paper left and thought it would be cute to do this kind of pattern with little bits of purple and little bits of sketch work. So I've put the calendar for the month in the top left corner, and the rest of the space I've used some purple paper and a few little drawings matching the stickers that I used earlier. I went back to this ditzy kind of pattern and decided to add some pen work. It's a bit tedious, but I think it is more of the effect that I wanted now. I also went back to the calendar and added more thickness to the days of the week. And this is the final flip through. You can see more images on my Instagram at meghafash.